Hello everybody, how are you doing today? We've got a lot to get through today. I've got lots of different topics as per usual, and hopefully something for everybody. If there's a particular subject I do that you really like and like more of, do let me know. And I hope there is something for everyone. There's gardening, there's art, there's crafts, there's Blast from the Past, where we look at the things from the past in many different ways, all sorts of things going on here. And as you know, I like old things and old times, particularly the 70s. And I will tell you, there is definitely something coming up about something from the 70s, something from 1976 today. Something I quite like that I actually had mentioned on someone else's live, The Astute Tourist, which is Jimmy's channel. So do go and check out The Astute Tourist. And he was talking about facts about the name Friday, the word Friday. So there's a little clue for you, something about Friday in 1976, if you can guess before we get to it. So yeah, lots going on today. And on Wednesday, don't forget, that's my chat and updates. And I've got another chat about the property that we're selling, and I promised I would answer questions about selling that property, and there will be chat on that on Wednesday. So don't forget, Wednesday's completely different to my Monday lives. If you're not sure of the start time, if you're playing this back later, the start times is in the description below. Also in the description is later on I talk about a video to watch on your coffee break, a quick fun thing or something quite helpful, and the link to that is at the very bottom of the description. So just scroll right down to the bottom of the description, and there it says what to watch on your coffee break, and you will see the link to that, and we'll get into that when we get to that section. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, either when it's live or later on, and for dropping those comments and the thumbs up. Let's begin with today's episode of the PEA Brain Show. And I have spoken many times about why it's a PEA Brain Show. If you don't know, then check out other episodes. The first theme today, we're going to do our short segment on knacks, hacks, facts and stats. So all sorts of tips come up in this segment. I was trying to think of something a little bit different for this segment today, a subject we haven't covered on hacks and tips and things. And I thought today we would talk about shoes. I haven't done anything on shoes, maintenance of shoes and so forth. So the first tip today, and we've got a few to go through. New shoes can often cause blistered heels. I suffer from that terribly. Hey, Stan, thanks for joining me again. I really appreciate that. So new shoes can give you blisters. And yeah, as I was saying, I do suffer from that, particularly out in Cyprus in the heat. If you're wearing particularly high heel shoes, for example, and you're not used to having your heels enclosed in hot weather, blisters for me are a big problem. So to solve the problem of getting blisters, particularly from new shoes, rub the backs of the shoes with soap, and it makes them softer because it's a harshness of that causes the blisters. So I'm definitely going to try my tip. I'm learning myself here. I'm just going to turn the fan off because it's right in my ear, and I keep ending up with a stiff neck after my live. So that's the first tip for today. The second shoe tip for today, remove scuff marks from patent leather shoes by rubbing with a little egg white. Leave to dry and then polish as usual. Who'd have thought? Interesting. Tip number 3, renovate worn suede shoes by holding them over a steaming kettle. Allow to dry. Then raise the nap with a suede brush, and you can get those from shoe shops quite easily. Sometimes you have to ask, they're behind the counter, or so forth. Or if you have cobblers or shoe menders, you can get them from there as well. So that tip would work well for suede coats and suede boots, that kind of thing. Also, sticking with suede tips, because I have a suede jacket, and for me it's very expensive if you want to get it clean, so tips are always good on suede. When cleaning suede, brush over with lemon juice and then steam for a few seconds, then brush with the suede brush. Next tip of the day: to clean shoes and put a beautiful shine on them, rub with a banana skin. On brown shoes, use the pithy side of a lemon. I haven't heard of the lemon before. I've heard about the banana, so that's pretty interesting. And the last tip on shoes for today: when children's shoes are badly scuffed and won't take the polish, rub them with a piece of raw potato and then apply the polish. That's my tips for today. Let me know if any of that was of use to you, or if you knew any of the tips, or indeed you didn't know any of the tips. Tips are all well and good if they're useful to you for your lifestyle. Stan says, have to try this. Yeah, I try and come across little things like that. There's going to be a tip one day that I share that will be of use to somebody. So that's some shoe tips, and particularly suede. I think suede's quite a difficult beast, isn't it, really? So definitely the suede. Okay, let's go on to the next section today. The next one today, I've got coffee break, what to watch. And as I say, I like to share short videos or hack videos or some fun videos, just something for you to watch while you're having your break that may be of use to you, or total chill out. So I want to share today with you a channel called No Garden. It's as easy as that. I have actually forgotten to put the link in the description. Let me just write down to put the link when I've finished, because I do want to put the link to a particular video. Oh, I have put it in the bottom. Yeah, I have. I remember I have done that. I'm just doing it. Normally I forget. That's why I said that. So let's return. The channel is called No Garden. It's as simple as that. No Garden. 2 separate words. Type it in here for anyone who doesn't go back in the links. And as I say, URLs, you don't need to worry too much about URLs if you don't get the chance to get them down. Just write down the channel names. But as I say, the link to the actual video I'm talking about will be in the description, right at the very bottom of the description. So scroll all the way down. And the particular video I want to share with you from that channel, they're all great. I'm working my way through them. They're absolutely fantastic. The host is from the Philippines, and they grow on their rooftop of it looks like quite a compact city, I'm not sure, and they just have a little bit of roof space. And the video I want to share with you, I'm always looking for different creative ways of growing, and I haven't seen this before. As you may well know, I use my water bottles a lot, the big water bottles that you have on machines in offices and that, and I have free access to empty ones. So every time I see a new idea, I use them in many different ways already, but this was different. So they have 2 of them. They make holes in the bottom of both, and they cut very near the top off, but keep a little bit of the inner shape. And then you can put one on top of the other one. I'm going to do a video on it, but do look at the link, because that's where I got the idea from. Hi, Anne. Anne won the prize just now. Do you know what you got yet, Anne? I know it's seeds, but I don't know what you got. So you want to put the 2 water bottles on top of each other. And before you do that, you want to cut out little arch flaps. Don't cut them off completely. Just cut little arches. They use, I think it's a soldering iron they use, because it looks like a metal stick. And you cut little arches out randomly up. So it ends up looking like how you grow strawberries. You know those big containers, and you can put strawberries growing out the side. So you're basically making something similar to that. They cut a Coca-Cola plastic bottle and they have it upside down with the lid on, but with a screw nailed in, and slightly move it along. Fill that up with water, cutting the bottom off, and that drips down. They secure it with a bamboo. We're going to put the bamboo all the way through, but they only put it on the top one. So you can keep filling the top with water. And they've planted lettuce in all the little holes all round. And with the drip system, it obviously doesn't need you to keep going and watering it. The reason I really like that idea is, you know, we do Airbnbs and they're separate to the house. They're not near the house. And I like them to have their own areas that they can pick vegetables and things from if they want to cook with them, or fruit, these kind of things. Mike's already made me a big crate up, and I put the pet food bags in so I can grow tomatoes for them. And I find the pet bags actually retain the moisture. I don't have holes in them. I don't put holes in anything anymore. So it retains the water. So they have tomatoes. I'm a little bit dubious if they're here for long stays. I don't want to go and disturb them. I got the WORKAWAYs to actually, I said to them, I will just water them every now and then. Obviously, if someone's come in for a holiday, I don't want to bother them with that. So I thought this system of the 2 water containers on top of each other with growing out the sides and the self-watering system would be perfect. It could be right outside their accommodation, and they can just pick. I want to try radishes like that, just sort of small salady things, not for something sort of long term, but just little bits and pieces. I think herbs will probably grow really well like that, these kind of things. So as I say, the channel's called No Garden, and it's as simple as that. If you see one of their videos that's in their language, then look along, because they do repeat a lot of their videos with English language, or a lot of them don't have any narration. So you can actually see how things are done. And I had that slight language barrier. They call a couple of things different to what I know them as, but I figured it all out. So, and do look at their description, because if it's in their language, then sometimes they do write English in the description as well. So far, all the videos I've seen of theirs have been completely different ideas. And as I say, they don't have a garden, so they don't have anything. They grow in polystyrene a lot. You know, when you buy a TV or something and you've got these great big polystyrene things. I do actually grow in. I've got one, and I have been growing in that sometimes. They do work quite well. So do check them out. No Garden, and particularly the video that I've tried to explain briefly is the video that I've linked in the very bottom of my description. They seem really good for some different ideas. I'm watching one today. They call them gourds. I think they're some type of melon, like the long ones that look like cucumbers. I think that's what a gourd is. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. And they've made this contraption, again, very simple. This is why I like their videos. They're very simple and easy to follow for me. And they've made almost like this structure out of nothing. They just use bamboo, and you could use anything, to be honest. And they grow all the gourds hanging down, and it looks like a tree of gourds. It's aesthetically pleasing as well. So I'm enjoying watching it, and as I say, so far everything is something I could do. I have said to them I will be talking about their video, and I have said to them I will be trying and making a lot of their things, but obviously I will always link their channel and say that's where I got the idea from. But I haven't seen so far anyone else doing the sort of ideas they're coming up with. So something very different for a lot of gardeners and homesteaders, I believe. So as I say, salvage stuff they use and things you can easily get hold of. So that's that. On to the next section for today. Next topic. Let's see, Anne doesn't know what the seeds are. No, I don't think she said, did she? You didn't even know you had won. I saw it come up. But if you watch the night bot, that says who won before she reads it out. I was like, yay! Next section. It's Monday Fun Day, so we have to have our jokes. Oh, it looks like he's got a monocle on with my paper clip. It's because I lose bits of paper today, so I don't want to lose them. So I have the fan on. Let's start with the jokes. I've got 2 jokes for you because they're a little bit longer. Can't chat much. See, collards. So that is melon, isn't it? It's a type of melon, the ones that look long like cucumbers, I believe. First joke. This is set at a zoo. A man starts his new job at the zoo and he's given 3 tasks. The first task is to clear the exotic fish pool of all the weeds. As he does this, a huge fish jumps out and bites him. To show who is boss, he beats it to death with a spade. Realising his employer won't be best pleased, he disposes of the fish by feeding it to the lions. Lions will eat anything. Moving on to the second job, clearing out the chimp's house. He's attacked by the chimps who pelt him with coconuts. He swipes at 2 chimps with a spade, but he kills them both. What can he do? Feed them to the lions, he says to himself, because lions eat anything. He hurls the corpses into the lion's enclosure. He moves on to his last job of the day, which is to collect honey from the South American bees. As soon as he starts, he's attacked by the bees. He grabs the spade and smashes the bees to a pulp. By now, he knows what to do. He throws them to the lion's cage because lions eat anything. Later that day, a new lion arrives at the zoo. He wanders up to the other lion and says, "What's the food like here?" And the lion says, "Absolutely brilliant. Today we had fish, chimps and mushy bees." Hope that translates to different countries. Fish, chips and mushy bees. Fish, chimps and mushy bees. Brassicas, the long ones, Gould's loofah. That's why I thought they looked like some sort of melony thing. Yeah, they were long and green. Right, Gould's, thanks for that. Type of brassica. That's funny because I thought someone said brassicas before and was showing some sort of cabbage, and I thought, I don't think that's got collards. Or is it any brassica? I'm not sure now. But thanks, Anne. That's really helpful. That's exactly what they were. They were long and green. They did look exactly like loofahs. Excellent. Let's go on to the second joke. Find it. Here it is. I'd folded it over so I knew which one. I was looking up the wrong side. The phone rings. Ring, 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 ring. Hello. Oh, hello, honey. This is Daddy. Is Mummy near the phone? No, Daddy. She's upstairs in the bedroom with Uncle Gabe. After a brief pause, Daddy says, "But honey, you haven't got an Uncle Gabe." "Oh, yes, I do. He's upstairs in the room with Mummy right now." Okay then. This is what I want you to do. Put the phone down on the table, run upstairs, knock on the bedroom door and shout to Mummy that Daddy's car has just pulled up into the driveway. Okay, Daddy, just a minute. A few minutes later, the little girl comes back to the phone. "I did it, Daddy." "What happened, honey?" "Well, Mummy got all scared She jumped out of bed with no clothes on and ran around screaming. Then she tripped on the rug. She hit her head on the dresser, and now she isn't moving at all. Oh, my goodness, what about your Uncle Gabe? He jumped out of the bed with no clothes on too. He was all scared and jumped out of the back window and into the swimming pool. I guess he didn't know you took out the water last week to clean it. He hit the bottom of the pool. I think he's dead. Oh, then Daddy says, swimming pool? Is this 0944865731? I like that one. I like the unexpected. Okay, let's move on to the next section that I like to call It's All Greek to Me. And as I say, this is the Greek flag. We are not a Greek island. We just speak Greek as our second language. This is the flag of Cyprus, where we are now. So anything and everything about Cyprus is what I bring you in this section. And I do want to start making some more videos about different foods and recipes of Cyprus. I have got one up there, I think, at the moment, a long time ago, but I need to get cracking with that. So I thought I'd talk about something here which we call gliko, and gliko actually means sweet, as in it tastes sweet, and we have them as little desserts here. Cyprus cooking is a family tradition and is handed down from mother to daughter. It is never learnt from a standard cookery book. Every good housewife makes her gliko, or preserves, and her jams and marmalades, but gliko making is an art in itself. Every type of fruit is turned into gliko, even green walnuts. I've talked about this before. We eat green almonds as well. I don't like that. I'll wait till they're right, what we call right. Every type of fruit is turned into gliko, even green walnuts, small eggplants, the thick peels of all citrus fruit, melon, watermelon peel, and rose and citrus blossoms. We normally have pomelo. I've got a video on this channel about pomelo. If you don't know what that is, think of it as a huge melon size, cross between melon and grapefruit. That's the best I can describe pomelo. They get really big. But to make gliko from a recipe in a cookery book is not the way to go about it. It usually doesn't turn out quite so well as when the art has been taught by someone who has had the method handed down to her by her mother and her mother and her mother before, and so forth. The fruit must be just right, not too ripe, not too green. The time of cooking, thickness of the syrup, just so. All these things are learnt by experience and watching. And I thought you might like if I do a recipe on those. You will always be offered those when you go to somebody's house. Always, always, always. We actually had the other day, well, I wasn't sure what it was. It's gliko. And he said it was melon. I was like, it sort of tastes like melon, but not really. And it turns out it's the actual skin. They do something with it first, but the actual skin, and not really any melon at all on it. It's the actual skin. It was quite chewy. I'm not sure I'd have it again, the skin, but we normally have, well, most fruits you can grow. As I say, pomelo is a popular one. You can do peaches or literally any fruit at all. Yeah, so that was quite interesting. Let's see the next section. Been waiting to do this one. Pastimes. And I said at the very beginning of this live I want to talk about something in 1976, and the pastime is watching films. So a particular film of 1976. And my friend Jimmy's channel, The Astute Tourist, he was talking about the word Friday and different things associated with the word Friday. And in case you're interested, Friday in Greek is Paraskidi, is Friday. And I happened to comment, oh, I used to love the film Freaky Friday. And that was 1976. I like the original one. There was a remake of it. That was good. It was okay, but it wasn't the same. I don't think you can remake many films better. If you can think of a film that's better of the remake, let me know. I used to love Charlie's Angels. I was so worried when the films came out of that, but it was a sort of different take on it. It was a bit of a laugh and a joke, so that was okay. But to try and just remake something doesn't always work. And the original, I was obviously, what was I? How old? But I was at that age when, oh, America, it looks really cool there. And in the film, she goes to school and they don't wear uniform. If you don't know, in England, all senior schools and most primary schools, infant junior schools, most of them, I don't know now, but senior schools definitely always have a uniform, whatever sort of school, senior school it is. It's not just private or anything like that. You just go to senior school and you wear a uniform. Some are a little bit more lax with any school grey skirt, for example, or any white shirt or blouse, but most schools have a definite school uniform, which you used to have to buy from specific school outfit shops. So you couldn't just go into like a clothes shop where they were selling school uniform colours. You had to go specifically, and they would have you like your badge on, so you couldn't just go and get one. And I hear that recently they've tried to say that you should be able to purchase them from anywhere and, for example, add the school badge, because obviously it was very expensive, particularly the school I went to. You had to have a blazer. It was like a coat blazer. It wasn't like you wore around school all day. So it was very thick, felty sort of blazer. So it was like that was your summer coat, because even when you were out and about going to and from school, you had to have the uniform. You couldn't wear your own coat. And then they had a grey, what I can only describe as a Mac raincoat. And think Inspector Clouseau, his beige one. Yeah. Yeah, Inspector Clouseau, but ours was a drab grey because they don't want you to look nice. And the blazer was maroon, a really dark, dreary maroon. We were an all-girls school. Perhaps the colours were to make us look unattractive, but they were better than the local Catholic school, where they had to have skirts down to their ankles and a dark, nasty brown colour. And I've said before, when you went on the school trips, originally the school, you had to wear maroon berry if it was a trip like you're swimming, to go swimming. I never went swimming with the senior school. It's finished by the time then. And if you went on a school outing, then you wore the straw hat. It wasn't a posh school. It was just the local senior school. And being an all-girls school, we even had to have a maroon tie, and it had to be tied correctly. And yeah. So obviously, watching Freaky Friday, American school looked the business. They went in their jeans to school. It just looked so much fun. I think every English school child wants to go to an American school. And all this changing rooms and playing all these sports, and for me. And I always liked Jodie Foster. For a teenager, like a pre-teenager that I was, she looked like teenage years in America were pretty fun. So I love that. I've always liked all the films that she's done. I've always thought her films were good. Another actress I really liked as a child actress was Hayley Mills. I don't know if anyone knows Hayley Mills. She's a very popular actress, a top actress in England. She's done a lot of films where it's twins. She's played twins. Oh, what was the film? They're twins, but they've been split up. Oh, I can't remember the name of the film now. It's one of my favourite films. They were twins and they were split up and they didn't know because the parents had separated when they were babies. And then they met up in a summer camp. Oh, you will know it because it's an American film, but Hayley Mills is an English actress. And they don't get on at all. And then things happen and they realise that they are related, because I think they've got half of a picture each, the mum and the dad and themselves, and one sees the other, I think it is, and they put it together. Oh my goodness, what's the film called? Oh, I can't think of it. And they did a remake of that as well. I've got to put my fan back on. I'm absolutely dripping. Parent Trap. Yay! Well done, man. Parent Trap. I love that. I love those sort of films. Parent Trap. That's another film I can watch again and again. Yeah, Parent Trap. I can't remember who did it the second time. The remake wasn't as good. Yay! I need that. Great old movie. Yeah. I saw Hayley Mills very recently in a film. She sort of become the Julie Andrews, the typical English spoken person when someone needs that sort of queenie type in a film. Yeah, great old movie. Oh, stands as great old movie. Oh, yeah, love it. So for me, you know, I love the 70s. But those are the type of films I like. I like Big with Tom Hanks. That's another one of my top films. Tom Hanks in Big. I think he's great in that. He really is. Yeah, those kind of films. They're what I call family films. And they've all got a little story to them, as in little think about it type thing. I think they did a remake of Big or something similar to Big. They made another film, sort of a similar thing. But yeah, anything like that, they're my type of films. Really like them. Wholesome films, aren't they, as well? And it always turns out great in the end. Just don't watch Bambi. Can't believe my mum took me to see Bambi when I was really little. Oh, for goodness sake. Don't do that, Disney. Oh dear. So let's move on. Enjoyed Castaway too. Yeah, I love Tom Hanks. I really do. I think he's quite handsome. I like, what do you call people like that? They're just normal looking. I don't know. Natural. I don't know what I really want to say. Not like they're all suave and anything. They're just normal people. He's just got a nice face, lovely personality. Enjoy Castaway too. Yeah. And Mermaid. Was it Mermaid? Something about Mermaid. He did one when he was sort of younger, where they found a girl that was a mermaid. Yeah. I love old films. I really do. Let's move on to inspiration and creation. Love that I made. I like sort of this type of craft, like paper crafts. I'm not very good at these sort of things anymore, but I like sort of paper crafts. I must try and do something. As it's been a bit popular sharing my paintings and drawings with you, I thought I'd show a few more. Maybe show a few for a while till you'll get bored with it. This has got June 2004 on the back. This is the time I was at my not rehabilitation club, but I can't think of a better word for it right now. And I told you there was a guy there that tried to encourage people who've never painted or drawn before. He didn't really do drawing, he did painting. He just encouraged you to get on and have a go. So these are from that time. That's why they got dates on the back. If they got dates on the back, they're from then, because he insisted you always dated everything. So I had to go a windmill. I quite like windmills. So that's my windmill. I'll move it up a little bit because there's a bit more down here. I do StreamYard. I do that on my other channel on random Thursdays. I do lives there. So I could show it better, but I've been having issues with actually importing stuff in. And I see now if I've actually edited anything in, I do it as YouTube editing, so I can just post it on YouTube. They're what you can't show live on StreamYard. Not my version of doing it anyway. So yeah, that's my windmill. That's my box. I normally throw stuff in the box. I'll have to put it away. This I quite like. There, no real planets. I think I was just experimenting with shades and colours and things. I quite like that one. I don't know what it is I like about it. I like curves, so perhaps it's that. I'm drawn to the curves, maybe. Oh, here's a bit of drawing practice. Kept it basic. That's an angelfish. I know some fish names of tropical fish because my dad used to keep tropical fish. So I'm quite good at fish names if they're tropical fish. Although I always wanted him to get marine fish because they were so much more colourful. And I know angelfish are black and white. Artistic license there. One more, because I don't want to bore you with my drawings. And this is one that I drew and then sort of coloured in painting, if you like. Very pretty. Yeah, there's something about that one. I'm not sure if they're meerkats or otters. They don't look quite like meerkats and they don't look quite like otters. I don't think otters stand up like that anyway. So maybe Anne can help us. She's been very helpful today. Maybe Anne could tell us what on earth Dawn drew here. So they're more meerkat than not, but I think meerkats have more of a pointy snout. So I'm not going to say they're meerkats. This one looks more like a tree stump. So yeah, there's no clue there. I think I might have copied that out of a book or something. Can't remember doing this one. They've got claws. It could be meerkats, but as I say, I'm pretty sure meerkats have more of a pointy snout. Beaver, possibly. There we can't see their tails. That would give it away. Possibly a beaver. I can't really visualise a beaver's face. Similar, maybe. We'll go with that, Anne, shall we? Because you've had all the right answers today. We'll go with that. Oh dear. Okay, let's move on. Move on to the next section. Let's take a look at a book I took from my book Nook. One day I might run out of different books because these aren't novels. Chipmunk. Not sure they're chipmunks. I don't think I would have painted them brown. No, to me they're not chipmunks. I'm going to go no to chipmunk. Or are you like having a laugh? Possibly, yes. I'd say more the beaver, that kind of, yeah. Yes, so I was saying these are books that aren't storybooks, novels, anything like that. They're just other random books that happen to be in my bookcase. Do we all know The Sims? What The Sims are? The Sims is a computer game, I would say. And it's been going for eons now. When it came out, it was so different to anything else. Just what you could do. You've got, I'll just briefly say if people don't know, you've got people, you can make the people. I mean, nowadays is probably nothing, but in its day, this was the first of this kind of thing. You can make their houses. There's different packs that you add on to, and there's all sorts of things. This is the holiday edition pack, so look, you can take them on holiday. You can do things. The first editions, they sort of can meet neighbours, and if you want, they can get married, and you buy things in the house to get your neighbours to come round. So you could get like a pool table, and you must have a toilet. You don't want to waste your money on things such as toilet, but if your neighbour comes round, they start like holding themselves and and obviously if they make a mess on the floor, then you're going to have issues. They're not going to like you anymore, and it's quite fun. It's quite fun. I haven't played for a long time, but I had several. They're still here somewhere. I had several different add-ons to it because, as I say, in its time, there was nothing like it. I've got a game now. Oh gosh, it's on Stream, not to be confused with StreamYard. Oh, sorry, not Stream, Steam, which is a format of computer games where you can go and get computer games. And oh, what's that called? Oh, for goodness sake. What Dew Valley? Starview Valley, that's it. Starview Valley, that is something really worth getting. Yeah, for example, these are things you can buy. You have to go to work and earn money, and to get a job, you have to do things towards a job. So, for example, if you want to be, let's say, a trainer in the army, you've obviously got to buy things to build up your physicality. So you need to do that and hide your physicality, do your physicality and things like this. Just doing things here. So we have some sad people. So any of these things, thanks, Sam. It's trouble with me showing stuff. So yeah, if you want to be a trainer for the army, you've got to go and buy weights and do that. If you want to be a teacher, you've got to buy the bookshelf and get books going. And what else is there you can be? I forget what all the jobs are now. You study. You can buy things and study. There's furniture. You can buy lots of different bits of furniture. As I say, you actually build the house. Oh, you choose which lot you want to build, buy first. So obviously with the lots, you can spend less on a lot, but then you can't build a big house. So therefore you can't buy all this stuff that you will need to get a better job. As I say, you can have children, you can buy pets. No, it's all right, Anne, no problem. That's why I normally do subscribers only, but that wouldn't stop it anyway. But it's no worry, no concern. Yeah, so there's just pictures of some of the rooms. As I say, the better stuff you can buy is obviously more expensive. Oh, you can buy a swimming pool. You build a swimming pool. And then obviously that helps with your fitness, and it also helps with having friends round. So more friends might come round. So it's pretty cool. If you don't know it, it's pretty fun. And I think now there's a lot of YouTubers out there that actually show their things that they've built, and you can watch their people. There we go. You've got a bath, different bathtubs, a hot tub. So you've got a bath there. different bath there, hot tub there. Oh dear. Oh yeah, you've got music, so you can buy like little radios or a great big sound system, these kinds of things. TVs. Oh, the TVs are great. When you put the TV on, just got another watcher, so I'm just watching it as a watcher and not something else going to come up. When you put the TVs on, you can hear the channels. You can choose what channel they watch, and you can have comedy, and you can have I can't remember other things, films. I can't remember what the other channels are. You sort of hear them because there's never real language on it. They have like a sim language, and they go oh da da body body oh body bar, and you can hear from their voice whether they're happy or sad. They have a speech bubble in their heads, so you can sort of see how they're feeling. And you have to keep everything up. You have to make sure they get good sleep. So buy a good bed. What else? You have to have the same interest. So you have to, for example, read. So you make sure you get the same interests going on as the people you want to befriend. You buy toys if you have children. You can buy toys. You send them to school. Been listening, haven't been able to see, but when you said they have to work with it, I thought you said you have to twerk. I don't know, see what you're talking about. Yeah, not me. Never would do that, not me. Should I speak up a bit? You never know, if my speech isn't perfect, perhaps I did add a T to the beginning of it. Yeah, and things like the TV, some of it they like to rest and watch it, but if you haven't given them a comfy chair, then they get fed up. They can go off and do their own thing, as well. So you can control them, but they do get bored and go off. So you have a list of what you want them to do. They mustn't be late to work or they lose their job, and then you have to train for another job. All sorts of things. Just seeing if flicking through reminds me of anything else. Some of the things as the game progressed do weird things. So, for example, there's a picture you can buy and it makes weird things happen. They can die. The cooking. If you can't buy the most fab thing at the very beginning for cooking. If you buy them like a little beginner thing, obviously they don't know how to cook until you read and obviously learn how to cook. So at first you get a simple cooker, but they can often make a mess of that, or they have been known to often set the house on fire. Things like the fire brigade coming will cost. You can have a maid to clean the house, but she costs money. It's just real fun. And the amount that you could do when it was like a new thing. They've got the prices here of the things you can buy. Sims can be hard to please, yes. Given a fat bank account, it would seem that you can cheer up your Sims. Yeah, they set the place on fire and the fire brigade come. You can cheer up the Sims with a few expensive purchases, but not exactly. While you're spending your hard-earned simoleons, the Sims are busy complaining. Hi, Neil. Oh, great to see you, Neil. We're talking about The Sims, the game of The Sims on computer. The Sims are busy comparing everything you buy to everything they already own. If you fail to keep your Sims in the manner to which they're accustomed, their responses to your new objects may be indifferent or downright negative. Every time you make a purchase, the game uses an assessment formula to calculate your Sim's response. Blind Neil's great. He really is great. He's helped my friend Tara set up her voice speech thing. So I really thank you for that, Neil. She's so thrilled with it. She really is. Tara's from Tom Girl City. Sims is awesome. Been playing since the first one. Excellent. What do you like best about The Sims? I was saying how it was just so different from anything else when it first came out. Oh, you can design the garden. You can make gardens. You know, guys, I like my dolls' houses, so it was kind of computerized dolls' houses. And it's not hard. I can't be bothered with some of these things where it's hard to do. Oh, thanks, Anne. Anne's just put your link up, Blind Neil. She's put your link up for you on your channel, of your channel. Yeah, do go and check out Blind Neil, and do check out Andale Homestead and put your link up. The Sims was fun all round. Yeah. Do you have a particular add-on that you liked? I didn't go far with it. I'll have to get out for next week's episode what ones I actually got. I didn't go far with it, but I did like it. Oh, one of the later ones that you got, you could, where the car comes to take you to work, you don't go to work. You just see the car come, you have to get in the car and you go. And then the time ticks by that you can build and do things in that time. There is an episode, a pack, where you actually can call a bus or taxi, I think it is. A taxi comes and you can say where you want to go. You can go to town and the shops and all that. So that was a big expansion. Me and Dale. There we go, Anne. Always put your link up, Anne. I always get my mods to do that, as I'm quite odd times for most people. So I can't expect my mods to come on. I do appreciate everybody who comes on. The new one was pretty cool as well. What is the latest one, Neil? Because I'm not up to date on it. I'm not up to date on what there is now. My sister does it all. She likes it all. Sim 4. And what's like different about Sim 4? What can you do? This one says the holiday expansion pack. I don't have this one, but I saw the book somewhere, so I got the book. It says £9.99. That's in pounds. But I think I found it in a sale somewhere, so I just grabbed it because I thought I might get at some point. I think my sister might have the holiday one. What she's done, she's built her house, lots of expansions. Yeah. She's built her house, but she's built it not like a school. It's like she's adopted loads of children. Like a sort of, I don't think it's a child's home she's done. I think she just has all these children. And I've seen people build them like schools and things like that. I really love it. I really do. There's some amazing things. I think things like this are really great, really clever. Okay, we'll leave that there. Let's go on to my next section, which I like to call Sow, Grow, Mow, and Ho, Ho, Ho. So it's anything and everything to do about gardening. And today I thought I would read to you a bit from my book, The Mediterranean Gardener, of the trees. We have lots of different trees. So it's all about Mediterranean trees more than anything. In gardens all over the world, trees are valued for the beauty of their form and foliage, and sometimes their flowers. In hot, dry climates, they have an added importance as providers of shade. Trees grown in hot, dry regions are unlikely to attain the stature of those in cooler or in tropical climates. Nonetheless, as more or less permanent features, often supplying architectural bulk, they make a significant contribution to the garden's setting. What are my main trees here? Now, remember, I live up the side of a mountain, and just a tiny bit further up from us is the start of small pine forest. And a lot of my walks I do on my videos are the edge of the pine forest. So we have a lot of pine trees on my land. If you can hear the cicadas outside, They mostly like the pine trees, but I found them in our carob trees. If you don't know what carobs are, I've got videos on that. What other trees? Obviously lots of fruit trees here. We have a tree with little tiny red berries on, and I'm going to do a video on that, because these berries you can harvest, and we've got to find where you can take them, but you can take them somewhere and get lots of money for them, because the money you get, you have to have a huge weight of them though to get anything, and no one can be bothered to pick them because they're so small, and where you sell them they don't like all the bits and pieces, so it's quite tedious. So we're looking into that, and we have a lot of those trees here. We have lots of thorny type trees. But as I say, mostly it's pine trees here, conifers, lots of different conifers, and we get the bagworms here. And the bagworms, I've done a video on that a couple of times. They look like a little head of straw, let's say, like the grass head. They look a little bit like that, and that's actually the bag that the worms are in, and they have a little black head coming out. There is a whole video on them, I think, on my playlist called Friend or Foe, the bug playlist, whatever that's called, Friend or Foe, about bugs and pests. And also you see the bagworm in my video that I did for a bit of a laugh, where I dress up and say how I take videos of nature, and it was a bit of a laugh that I dressed up and camouflaged myself to look like the animals to take the video footage. So it's in there, and you see bagworm. As I say, you just see this little black head poking out, and he moves by moving his head like a foot and dragging the bag along behind him. And as I say, the bag is actually the size of like a head of corn, if you like, but he makes it up, the bag, out of all bits and pieces. That was hilarious, like that video where I dressed up. I still think the bit where I wore the crow's mask was pretty spooky. When you see me there up the high tree, and you just see my eyes through the mask, and my eyes go like side. And I was sort of looking, and I had to wait there a long time up the tree for some birds to come. I just think that looks so spooky, but I love that bit. And I love the bit where I go and get the ladder first. I just walk across with the ladder. Films like that take so long to make. They really do. And they're normally the least viewed type films. I love doing them. But I was talking about Bambi on my last live, saying about, that's what I call my tripod. It's a full-size tripod, but the legs just go every which way. And I have secured it. There's just something wrong with the actual top of the tripod. So the legs are fixed, but they don't work fixed to the top anymore. And I was laughing, saying about how I was filming a video, and my camera kept stopping, starting, because it's really old. And I just wanted to get this last little clip done, and I could see Bambi, the tripod, the legs spreading out and dropping lower and lower and lower. And I was just going slowly down, down. And I must try and find out what video it is so you can see it. All I can remember is I was standing outside on my patio to do it. And I was trying to think, well, what video would I have done out there? And I can't remember. Just so you could go look and see me slowly trying to go down as they were getting lower. Yeah, I want to do, Anne says, yes, they are a lot of work. Yeah, I want to do more of that. If I wasn't growing and doing things like that and building and things like that, I would like to be a YouTuber just doing those sort of random fun videos. So I do try and add some sort of bit of difference to the gardening ones. Obviously, this is a time of year for me when there's a lot happening in the garden, and it quickly changes. As soon as I've filmed a bit and edited it, it's different in the garden, as all gardens will know. So it's growing more and whatever else. I've just done filming of my aubergines. I'm really pleased with those. the aubergines in the Hoogles, and they've already need picking now, and I haven't even posted that yet. Anne says, so what missed the what missed the property for sale video? I'll go and look and watch. Yeah, I think it was that, or it might have been before. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know, I'm going to talk about it more on the Wednesday live, but we're selling what was initially Mike's property in Cyprus. He bought it for us to have as a holiday home, and we never used it because by the time we thought about it, Mike said perhaps we'll retire there. I said, well, if we're going to move because of my condition, if we're going to move, let's do it now so I can enjoy it. So when we came out, well, I came out first, but we'd already decided I wanted something a bit bigger, a bit more land. And so I bought here, and Mike was going to sell there. And I said, no, don't do that. That was going to be for his pension. So he was renting it out, but we've decided now, I explain it all on the last live on Wednesday. I explain why we're selling it and what we're using the money for. So I'm hoping that we will sell soon, and it will pay to get everything done here quickly so I can enjoy it. We've got plans, and it will provide a bigger income for us because we can finish and do more of Airbnb things. And as I said in that video, if travel doesn't happen, then we've got other plans for it and other potential uses, but I want to get all finished down there. So that's the plan for that, plus other plans which I spoke about there. And I said if anyone's got questions on it, I'm quite happy to answer questions. Somebody did actually say, well, why would you not live in that one, give up what you've got there now, stop with the hard work and go and live there? So I thought that was a great question. It was a really good question. It's a friend of mine, so don't worry about it. And I thought, no, that's a great question, and I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be my subject really for Wednesday. It's going to make a great discussion point. Obviously, a lot of people, it's not a town or city, it's a small fishing village, but there are a lot of people that are more wanting to live in a town, village, city, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll talk about that definitely on Wednesday. I thought that was a really good question, and it was done in a friendly way. So I don't want everyone thinking it was well, stop. But I agree. But as I say, we gave up that to live here, and lucky we did, because obviously during lockdown and everything, we couldn't have afforded to have carried on living there because it's bills. But yes, and today I did put a video up on the actual property. If you can all share that video out, the one that I posted today on this channel, I would really appreciate it. Good. I was thinking it's where you are now. No. No, I did a community post on it. I was very careful to put that it's which property it is. And my sister, actually, Anne, was in the live on last Wednesday, and she's like, have you said it's the other one? I was like, yeah, it's in the title, and I keep saying it. Glad to share it. Yeah, it's one of those weird things where if you sell to someone in Cyprus, you won't get money for it. If you sell to somebody abroad that wants to relocate, you can get a lot of money for it. So we've had to price it very cheaply. Let's talk about English people, because I can talk about that because I know that they would pay at least triple for it easily. We've compared other countries as well, and for what you get in other countries for the money, they would get a really big house all done up for the price of something else even bigger here. So what I'm saying is you'd get a lot more for your money here than you would in a lot of other countries. But the price we're selling it for, we're looking over, we've actually said 147,000. In the video I put 150,000 because it's going to be a little bit of time for me to sort things out if it is someone from another country. Any offers over 150,000, you won't get money. Yes, I will get money. I don't understand that. What have I said that confused you there? What did you say? What do you mean, Anne? We're selling it. You won't get money. Yeah, we get lots of money. I'm confused now, Anne. What did I say? Did I say something weird? I must have said something weird. No. Oh, won't get money. Right, okay. If you sell somewhere in Cyprus, right, this is what I'm saying. Let's take my property where I actually live, because this is a brilliant example. In Cyprus, there is no set price for anything. You can ask anything for anything. You can have two properties exactly the same, side by side. One can go for $1 million, one could go for 200,000. It's what you want and what someone wants to pay. Yeah, I know now. I get where you was. So let's take this property here that we're not selling. This is not the one for sale. If someone from abroad bought it, they could potentially offer you a lot of money. Nobody in Cyprus will buy it, because this is why the property's land with property is really cheap, because no Cypriots want it. So you've got to find someone from another country to buy it, which to them is worth a lot more money. This is why there's a lot of old villages that don't have a lot going on, because the young people here want to live in the towns and the cities and have all the amenities and transport and so on and so forth. So this property potentially is not worth very much unless, let's say, I found a footballer or a famous person in England or America. They would come, gut the place, but they've got that amazing 180-degree view, and they will build their big mansion on the land. To them, it's probably worth a few million, but you've got to find them. No, I say things weird, Anne, no worries. But this is what we're saying. So prices basically can be whatever you want. A Cypriot, let's go back to the place we're selling. A Cypriot wouldn't probably give us much more than 150,000, because they've got properties coming out of their ears. They've got land, they've got property. You don't find someone with just one bit of property, because, as you know, down the generations, they keep all the properties and they buy more. For every time a child's born, they buy more property, and they wouldn't probably buy much. They don't buy to invest in that respect. They're just buying weird things. Why would they not buy that then? Because when their daughters get married here, they used to buy them a house or add another story to their house. Now their daughters want a business, so they will buy them a shop to be a hairdressers or that kind of thing. They're not buying what I would call investment properties. So really we're looking for, it will be a nice home, it will be a nice investment, it will be a nice holiday home, it will be a beautiful Airbnb. There's plenty of people around that would run it for you, but we need the money from it. So I hope that's explained it a little bit more. So as I'm saying, if we sell it to someone abroad, it will be worth a lot more. If we sell it to locals, because they go, there's 10 a penny, and although they sell their properties for a lot of money, they only buy for little money. It's a very good price in our minds. I've looked around the area. There is nothing comparable for the price. It's dated. That's the only downside of it. It's dated. It hasn't been messed about with since it was built, and you'll see the pictures. It's very sweet. It's 2 double bedrooms, right by the beach, right by the marina, supermarkets right there, bakery, banks, hairdressers, restaurants. It's lovely. I wanted more garden, and now I wouldn't even consider buying somewhere like that, because if there's lockdown again, which we're looks like we're going into some form of lockdown. I can't go out again now. It's mask everywhere and I can't do that. If it was lockdown, I would be stuck in that property. There's neighbours. I can't do neighbours anymore. I really can't be doing. Once you've been living in a big open vast space where I can go for walks up the mountain, not see anybody at all, see the goats walk by, I couldn't even imagine going back. And this is part of why we want the money to finish our outbuildings, because yes, at some point that land's going to be too much for us, but one of them I want to use to have somebody maybe live in and work on the gardens, or a long-term work away or something like this. Got to show you. It's very confusing. Headed to the garden. I'm in your pocket. I'm in your pocket. I'm probably not going on for much more anyway. Have I got any more sections? No, I've got no more sections anyway. Yeah, I know it's very confusing. I do like questions, and as I say, I'm quite open to the questions. It's not very much to have that than a property we're selling. It's something like €30 a year for the you'd call it council tax in England, like property you pay annually for it. How much? Oh, 60. And what's the refuse? 110 a year for the refuse, and the refuse gets collected right near you. If you see the pictures where you can park, you've got 2 parking spaces allocated to you, and beyond that is one of those big green bins. So it's right there, so you get rid of all your refuse. It's definitely, I would buy it. Well, we did buy it. It's just, as I say, now I've experienced this, I couldn't go back to there. But if I saw that and not this, like we did, we bought it. If you want a holiday home it's a really nice life there with everything you possibly want. Yes, we're sad, but rather than getting in dribs and drabs of the rental money and having that worry all the time of if we lose the rental people again, it's on your mind. Our little bit of income from that, now Mike gets a little pension that covers that. And it's not all your eggs in one basket, because as I say, we're doing up the outbuildings here. Hey, if it even came to it, we could divide our land up and sell some of our land with the outbuildings. We wouldn't do that, but we have so many options if we finish all those builds. So rather than dribs and drabs coming in, we want to throw all our money into finishing and doing things that we want to do. So I will keep you updated. As I say, if you've got questions, throw them either under this video or under the other videos, and it's a good talking point as well. And I'll try and be a bit more clearer next time. It's very difficult for me to get my head thinking and keep reminding you which property it is. But yeah. Okay, thanks very much for all those who are watching now or who are watching later. Really appreciate you all. Big thanks especially to Anne for sorting things out earlier, and for everyone who's come on, Blind Neil, and we also had in today Ambulancing Adventures Stan. Do check out their channels, they're great supporters. And thanks everyone for being here. You said it right. Cool. Okay, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you're watching later. No, it's me. I talk gobbledygook. I need an Anne in my life for sure. Oh, and Anne, when you get those seeds, do drop me a comment to tell me what seeds you got. I'm really interested. I'm sure you'll do a video. Yeah, so check out Blind Neil and Ambulancing Adventures Stan and Andale Homestead. And thanks, guys, so much for being here. You're awesome. Until next time, Meraki.